Hitler adopted the Lebensraum. So he went to Poland. He went to other countries to expand the German and the German race. And then, of course, then I come down to geopolitical shift in the present, where I talked about Asia and other countries. I give a conclusion. Now, coming down to subcontinent, I started from 1947. I didn't go beyond that. Then he took up a very big background to how the Mughals came, how the Britishers came, why they came, what did they found. And what the Mughals failed to do is taming the ocean. And that's the reason why the Mughals were defeated. So I didn't bring those.
So I must say, while reading it, I found it very lucid, easy to read, although the content of it was very dense. So I must congratulate the author for making a very difficult proposition in a very simple way in a small book, rather a big monograph.
Independent countries of India and Pakistan in 1947, the Sino-Indian War of 1962, and the birth of Bangladesh in 1971. And in particular, Dr. Hossain argues that the 1962 Sino-Indian War has not only brought India closer to the United States, but also established China as a major player in the South Asian and Indian Ocean region.
People or the students of geopolitics, that how at that time in early 80s, how things were introduced into the geopolitics of Bangladesh and to the region itself. And that is the reason where we stopped. I'll not go to those details, but there is a reason because of other factors that stopped us from proceeding forward beyond that. But I think it's now time. I think sir can include this, or we can have another research on that paper, on that, and prepare a paper on that also.
Today I feel obliged that I could pursue my PhD because of his initiative. So I'm grateful to him. I'll only request sir that after the July Revolution, the shift that we are trying to see in our geopolitical perspective.
I have the least integrated parts of the world. As compared to ASEAN or European Union, we are very least connected. Given the change of political landscape that has taken place in our country, and gradually the cooperation that we are seeing between these two countries, in particular Bangladesh and India, I find there is a vacuum taking place, and I was looking for some sort of light on that, how this vacuum is going to be filled up by big country like China, which has a big pocket.
I would like to address what we have already said, what has not been done and what could be done. I would like to suggest, in view of the 2 days war, India and Pakistan, because it had 2 days interval in between, this whole spectrum of battle in the future, it has changed. So with the strategic shifts, we also have to rethink the security concerns of the South Asian smaller nations. So I think your next volume should emphasize on those aspects, because Pakistan has integrated the electromagnetic spectrum operation, which India has totally failed and it has been overpowered. Though in future, attention must be given on that.
Whatever the power, we can compensate with the students. So in the South Asia, the student has shown us a new dimension. Now the threat, this India-Pakistan war, we have to think in the defense pact for our sovereignty. Thank you, sir.
In particular with reference to ASEAN. So perhaps you have something to say about that. This geopolitics issue is misplaced somehow, because there is a Western hegemony of using small pockets like Taiwan, Darfur, Tibet, and you can name even say the Arakans, to divide and perpetuate the Western hegemony.
like this. And as I understand from the discussion, that the book is more about the historical background and shift. But maybe we could organize a broader dialogue on geopolitics and strategic interest in South Asia 2050 and beyond. SIPC is very well positioned to do it, I believe. We have diplomats here, we have members of the armed forces, we have academics. So it's a request to SIPC that could we have a broader dialogue on this.
Today, as you say sometime, artificial intelligence. Same, it is also like that. Though in the past which you have seen, the traditional things are not prevailed. Things he has quoted in this book, I think 4 or 5 points which is very important for a small nation like Bangladesh. He says the strategic balancing between India and China. The task that is becoming increasingly complex for smaller nation like ours. Bangladesh must navigate carefully between these two giants with protecting its national interest. This is the gist I got from this book. And next point he mentioned, among the several points I have quoted few, the rise pressure in the India-Pacific region, where we see a growing rivalry between the Quad, India and USA, Japan and Australia and China.
South Asian subcontinental countries, the book that was written by one of our beloved colleague of North-South University. I must appreciate his initiative of writing these books. He has been actually writing all the time. I would always say that, well, this is a gentleman who actually writes things on the contemporary issues, not only now, from long time, a very lucid writer, and also write things very, I would say that very professionally and very articulately on the subject matter. Many of us, we know that, well, the strategic shifts in South Asia, we all understand that this is not an easy issue, it's a complex issue, and we know that these complex issues have arisen, due to the influence of the rising powers in this subcontinent, and the regional dynamics are not also very easy in this part. We also know that, well, international relations has also created or even put us drifted us to to a geopolitical center of this part of the world, where we see that the major change that includes in this part of the world due to the evolving relationship between China and India.